The U.S. government is making two major changes to its rules for asylum seekers and undocumented immigrants brought to the country as children. A new Trump administration rule took effect on Tuesday, requiring people to wait a full year from the day that they file their asylum petition before they can apply for a work authorization. It also disqualifies asylum seekers from being able to request work permits if they cross the border illegally. Also on Tuesday, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced that it would resume processing DACA renewal applications. This follows the June Supreme Court ruling overturning the Trump administration's attempts to dismantle the program. But there's a catch. The agency will continue rejecting all initial applications from young immigrants who never had DACA protections, even if they meet the requirements. So what does all of this mean? CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now with more. Camilo, it's good to see you. Let's go ahead and start with the work rules for asylum seekers. What impact will this change have on people's lives, and what did immigration legal experts have to say about this rule?
Hi, Lana. It's good to be with you. So these new rules that took effect yesterday will have a very real and concrete impact on the lives of those who are seeking asylum here in the U.S. One of the things that the new rules would do is require asylum seekers to wait a year until they can apply for work authorization to legally work here in the U.S. We spoke to a young asylum seeker mother from Guatemala who fled sexual violence in her home country and who is now worried about how she will be able to financially support her two young children, including an 8-year-old and a 9-month-old U.S. citizen daughter in the wake of these new rules. Under the previous policy, Lana, she would have been able to apply for a work permit this coming Monday, but because of the new policy, she is going to have to wait until April 2021. So that is a long time for her not to be able to work. And of course, we are in the middle of a global pandemic. And the Trump administration is defending these new rules in the very much the same way that it has defended its other restrictive asylum policies, which is they believe that the asylum system is being abused by economic migrants who just want to obtain work here in the U.S. and don't have valid asylum claims. But advocates, on the other hand, believe these rules will make low-income asylum applicants vulnerable to homelessness, hunger, and even work exploitation.
Well, let's turn over to DACA now. What impact will rejections for all new initial applications have? And is this in conflict with what the Supreme Court ruling halting the destruction of the program was intending to do?
Right. So the bottom line is that this action by the Department of Homeland Security means that tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants who were brought to this country as children and who are eligible on paper for the DACA program, which protects them from deportation, will not be able to apply for this program indefinitely for the time being because Department of Homeland Security has closed the program to new applicants. And, you know, these are young immigrants who are part of the so-called dreamer generation in the U.S. They were brought to this country by their parents or other family members as children. They don't have legal status in the country. They have attended U.S. schools, come of age here. But unlike their peers in the DACA program, they are not protected from deportation. They remain vulnerable to being removed from the country. And we've spoken to some of them, and they say that they will continue to be in limbo until there is a permanent fix to their situation. And to answer your question about whether this action by DHS complies with the Supreme Court order in June, I think we have to remember that what the Supreme Court said earlier in the summer is that the administration's effort to dismantle the program in 2017 violated administrative law. The court did not rule on the legality of the program, so what the Department of Homeland Security did was rescind the memo that would have ended the program in 2017, but then issued a new memo that limited this program and, as we just discussed, closed it to new applicants.
Camilo, I'm wondering, for the groups that are trying to help these DACA dreamers, are they recommending that new applicants do not submit paperwork at this time, or to go forward? I don't know if you know the answer to what those organizations are advocating, but I imagine for some of our viewers that's an important piece of information.
Sure, that's a great question, actually, because in the wake of the Supreme Court's ruling, there was this question by many as to whether they should apply for this program for the first time because the administration would have been barred from ending the program at least immediately. But now we have a clear answer, Lana, that they will not accept new initial applications. So if people who never had this protection from deportation go and apply, they know now that their applications will be rejected.
All right, CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you.